So I know that some people have been curious as to what it is that I use in expeditions, class-wise, how I'm set up and everything. And it's not probably going to be exactly what everybody else uses. We all have our own particular little taste that we want to use. And I figured I'd just show you this is how I use my setup. And this is what I do to stay alive more than anything. So milking maid, or even if you don't have a milking maid and you just have a radiant solstice ground pounder, these come in very handy. And it's what I see, actually it's what a lot of people use. Now technically guns would be different for different people. You're gonna have different guns. Now the spinal tap is out. Of course this is what I am going to use as a spinal tap weapon, but that's not always been my preference. With the lifesteal and everything, it's a really good one, but honestly, this plate slicer assault rifle is what I used to use above everything. Because for me, with the weapons, I know a lot of people want to use healing weapons, but I wanted to use weapons that would kill faster. If I'm killing fast enough, then things aren't killing me. It's kind of the way I was looking at it. So, but Spinal Tap has really changed that around and made that a lot easier. And of course, it's not going to let me get to it, of course. A Guardian Angel, I mean, it comes in handy, but at the same time, I don't go down a lot, so it's only so-so for me with that. A Flashbang, I like a Flashbang. A Flashbang kind of gives me that second to recover, or just to pile on. Some of the big enemies, you can make them dance around and just pile damage on them while they're doing it. Ammo, just you need ammo in there. That's just how that is. And armor repair, I like above using. I know that some people might say I should use like a heal stem or something, but I like armor repair. It's what I want to use. I am still using a purple cyber rig. I do have an orange one, but this purple one is set up for a very certain reason, a certain way. This is all about staying alive. It's to keep me from going down, to have to worry about self-revive. And as you can see, as a damage diffuser, 6 of them. That's 15% less damage I take. That is big, and it really, really, really comes in handy. I mean, I can take a lot of hits that a lot of people can't. And you know, I have one reload in there. I don't mind a little bit faster reload. So that's why I've never bothered to even pull that one out or put something health in there. I'm like, you know what, that's okay. I'll just keep that in there. You know, I might change it one day, but a couple of health rejuvenators, which is what I would, trade out to get the health up more than likely, because I'm used to having health regeneration from a regen shield, so not using one really changes things up. So, an extra 5% with those two makes that a little bit faster, a little bit better. And the revival rejuvenator, so that your self-revive comes back just a little bit faster. Every percentage does matter with that. So now, this is what I use on my abilities. Decoy. Now, it may not be your choice, but once again, this is something to save me. If anything's coming after me too heavy, I can throw my decoy out and try to, distract all the enemies, which is just a way for me to recover or to pile damage onto the enemies. Same thing as using the flash grenade. It's just a good thing to do. I do not use any perks that make it last longer or come back faster, because I don't need it really to come back any faster. I'm okay without that 9 seconds. And the lasting longer is a complete wasted perk. They destroy your decoy so fast. Using a perk to make it last 9 seconds longer is not going to help you. It's just a wasted perk spot. So, now to the perks, which is probably what you're actually more interested in. I've turned the tide. If you don't know what that is, it's right there. If you revive another player, it will give you 45% of your self-revive back. So that's something you should just be using. It comes in very handy. It's something that you should be having on when you're in an expedition. Thick-skinned, no secret there. You gain 4 plates of armor when your shield breaks, just to make you basically a little bit tougher whenever your shield goes down. Fortitude, extra 15% to your health. That's always a good thing. Self-medicated. I've said this before. I run this, I think, on every single class just about. I think I have one class that doesn't have this on it, and that's 45% recharge rate on your self-revive. Very useful. Cellular armor, another one. I mean, these are all defensive, as you see. I'm solid defense. You take less damage, 6% less damage. That is definitely the way to go. And now, because I don't have a regeneration shield, I'm using a regeneration perk, 3% HP regeneration. Pumped up because that's how I get my ego back faster. I like that when I reload. I think I have this just about on every single class too. Extra 15% ego power on a full reload. It's definitely handy. Blast shield. It's so many explosives everywhere. You have to do something to reduce that range. And that's 45%. It's basically almost 50% less range they can hit you at. That's super handy. Now, one that you probably may not think about, height advantage, would be the one oddball that I have stuck in there. Why would I use that? You deal more damage when you're 2 meters higher than the enemy, which is plus 9% damage. Think about it when you're in expeditions. How many times are you 2 meters higher than your enemies? Because there's a lot of slopes and stuff in there that you're fighting down, and that 2 meters giving you that extra damage matters. When you're standing up on the platform at the end of the one expedition, 9% extra damage for everything you do. This is super handy to have. You can tell it's handy because it's one of the few non-defensive perks that I'm using. One that just lets me do more damage. And when you're throwing out your Milky Maid rounds or throwing out your just whatever, that 9% matters. Somebody finally noticed I was up here. Look at that. At least they let me get through, right? But that is going to be it. That is the class that I use. Every single perk, everything that I use in expeditions. I don't change this around much. This works really, really good for me. And you see the name. It's Expedition. This is mainly what I use. Weapons will change out. If we're higher rounds with mutants or something, I may swap over to a corruptor because it does help to slow the enemies down if somebody's spreading a big pool of bio out there to slow them down and everything. So there you go. That's my expedition class, all the perks I use and everything. And I will catch you guys later.